Erica here with Crafts Direct, and I want to show you this fun little shadow box we made. It makes me happy every time I look at it, but so does anything that has doodlebug paper on it. So let me show you how we made it.
We are going to start this project out by disassembling the entire shadow box and then taking the piece that has a clothesline string on it and cutting it off the piece of wood. Then we're going to take that same piece of wood that we just cut the string from and paint the inside of it green. Next we'll move on to taking the outside shadow box and painting the sides, the top, and then the inside little ledge green as well. And we're going to do this 2 to 3 times. It takes quite a bit of paint to get full coverage. Next we're going to take our picnic parade paper and cut between the strips where the watermelon is and the suns and clouds. We'll cut that apart, and then we're going to cut under where it says Fun in the Sun repeatedly on the yellow background. This strip is going to be on the outside of the shadow box on top of the glass. So we're going to grab that piece of glass from the shadow box so we can measure how wide that strip of paper needs to be. So we're going to position it where we want it so we can space our words the way we want them, and then draw a line on each side of the glass. And then you'll use your paper trimmer to cut where you drew those lines. So then it should fit perfectly on top of your glass. Then we're going to take our fresh lemonade piece of paper. This will be the background for the entire shadow box. So we're going to take that back piece that seals in the shadow box, put it on our piece of fresh lemonade paper. We want to cut it that exact size. So here I am making pencil marks where the edges of the board line up. Then I'm going to take it over to my paper trimmer and cut where I drew those lines. And this is going to be the background for our shadow box. Now that I've got the main pieces all cut out, I'm going to grab our sticker sheet, the This and That barbecue sheet, and start peeling off the stickers that I want to use. I'm going to use adhesive foam squares to add dimension. These are the 1/4 inch ones, and they're just a little bit too big for these shapes, so I'm going to cut them in half. And we're just using these so it gives it a little bit more depth and dimension on the shadow box. And during this part of the process, I am just laying everything out to see how I like it without actually adhering anything down. I decided to trim down my photo just to make it fit a little bit better. It started out as a 4x6 and now it's about 4x3 inches. And I'm just continuing to take fun stickers off of the barbecue This and That sticker sheet and adding it to the back of my shadow box. Most of these, again, I'm not actually sticking to the shadow box at this point, and I will go back to doing that later, once I've got everything kind of spaced out exactly where I want it. One tip I have when dealing with these stickers is that sometimes it is nice to have a tweezers to kind of hold it in place without it touching down to the surface until you are ready. Once I had everything picked out and ready in place where I wanted it, then I started actually adhering everything to the background surface of the board. I used a couple different adhesives to get everything glued down to the board. I used a Zig 2-way glue pen to adhere the photo down. And then I used the foam squares. I peeled the backing off of those to adhere all of the things I put the 3D foam squares on. And then sometimes I just use the adhesive on the back of the sticker to get it stuck down to the board. Next up is adhering that little strip of paper we cut beforehand to the top of the glass. So here I am just laying the glass on top of the base of my project so I know where to place that strip of paper. Then I'm going to grab my glue runner, adhere glue to the back of my piece of paper, and then I slowly position it onto the top of the glass. Then I'm going to go back to the This and That barbecue sticker sheet and add a couple more embellishments. So I'm going to grab that fun red and white gingham scallop and put it along the bottom on top of my glass so it's on the top of the shadow box. And then I'll continue grabbing a couple extra stickers and just adding a few extra embellishments now that I can see the whole project come together. Now it's time to reassemble that shadow box. So first goes the glass, then the inside part that had the clothesline, then our backing, and then finally you'll add on the piece of wood to the back, close it all up, flip it over, and look at your adorable new project.
You can find all the supplies to make this project at craftsdirect.com and go to our projects page.